What's happening, y'all? I appreciate y'all coming out for Tuesday, June the 7th. We have two games in the WNBA today. I am Parlay Teece. I'm going at it K-Solo today. So yeah, just have me type away in the comments there. I'll address them as they come in. Again, I appreciate everyone coming out. Sunday, Sunday was a terrible day for me, as you all know. I think I won two games. I was able to get the Mystics first half in pretty quick right before game time. I got that in. So, I mean, not the Mystics, the Lynx. So, that was one of my wins. But, actually had a really good call out was Daryl in the chat on Sunday. He was spot on the Storm game. I was a little skeptical on it. I was trying to back the Storm, and they just continue to let me down. I'm going to give them one more shot today, and we'll see what happens. But they might go on to that do not bet list. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's get to it. What's up, T-Mac? Glad to have you here, bro. And James, my guy, what's good, bro? All right, first game we're going to talk about today is the Lynx and the Liberty. They played on Sunday, and the Liberty didn't really look too well. Ski was on the Liberty. I like the Lynx first half. I'm not really feeling the Lynx first half today, but after that game on Sunday, and it was the final score minutes, the Liberty came back and made it close. And but they just couldn't get there. And the final of that game was 84-77. The game wasn't even really that close, to be honest with you. I watched the game, and it was just pretty disgusting. The center for the Liberty, Han Shu, she played terrible first half. She picked it up a little better in the second half. And I expect her to have a good game today. I expect her to bounce back and pick up where she left off in the second half on Sunday. Another person who was absent or missing in action was Stephanie Dolson, the other center for the Liberty. She had no points. She played 16 minutes. She didn't have any points that game. So that right there was the difference in the ball game. It was a 7-point game, and her with no points. It could have been a totally different game. James is on the Liberty. You know what, James? I agree with you on this one. I'm getting reports, not reports. I'm chatting with you, Capper, earlier, and he was feeling the Lynx first half. I don't know if I'm that way today, to be honest with you. I did jump on the Liberty first half, and I got it at a pick last night. The line went up to 1.5, and then I watched it go to 2.5. And I still would jump on it at 2.5, to be honest with you. T-Mac, yeah, join us every day, bro. We'll get you some winners. WNBA this year has picked up. This game's it's a good game. It's a good game to bet. There's a lot of money to be made. Live betting the WNBA is just very, very profitable, at least for me. So, that's something else you want to look at once you get more familiar with the game and how these games play out. You'll see where I'm coming from, T-Mac. Moni, as far as the total goes in this game, let's see what we have on the total right now. The total we have for the Lynx and the Liberty was 158. I don't know if it's moved at all. Let's take a look and see. It's at 159 now. 159 at Caesars. I think it's 158.5 at FanDuel. Personally, I like the under in this game. I know the Lynx are an over team, but I think Sandy Bordello really has to get the defense up. And plus, the Liberty are not a fast-paced team. They have been in the past, but this season they've been pretty slow in pace. And give me a second. I'm looking up some stats here real quick. They are 11th in the league in pace right now, where the Lynx are 6th in the league in pace. So, if the Liberty win this game, I think the game stays under. My opinion is it stays under. I don't really have any play on this game, and to be honest with you, I really like to bet totals that I don't have an opinion on. I like to bet them during the game, just because you can get a lot better number. Like if this game starts out, well, not really the start because the lines don't differ that much from the pregame as the game starts out. But as the game goes on, if they're in the second quarter and they're playing above the pace of the 159, you can see that line shoot up to 165, 166. And at that point, I would hammer the hell out of the under. So that's my opinion on that, Moni. I don't know if you're liking the over or not, if that's why you asked about the over, but please don't let me talk you off of anything. You know, that's one thing I don't like to do. I don't like to talk people off of their plays, just because of the fact that I'm not 100% right all the time. You know, I mean, you guys have watched the show, you've seen that. So, but I mean, you know, more times than not, I stack my record up against anybody else in the WNBA. And I was on betting with the bag last week, and I kept getting asked, what's your record? What's your record? And I didn't have my record updated. So I updated my record last night, and let me pull that up for you guys so you know where I'm coming from with the WNBA this season. And for the 2022 season, I am 67-30, and I'm plus 48 units. Now, how do I get up plus 48 units when, you know, I'm only 37 games above 500? That's because I bet, like, a lot of games where I really like it, I'll bet 200. You know, a lot of the games that I post on Twitter, I'll bet 200 on. Like today, I bet 200 on the Liberty, well, to win 200. So I bet 220 on the Liberty. But I also got it at a pick. You know, when I posted it, it was 1.5. I still liked it. And I still endorsed it at 2.5, to be honest with you. T-Mac, Liberty would almost have to respond, but don't trust them with the poor record. You know, I agree with you there, but also the Lynx have a poor record as well. So, I mean, I really don't think, you know, you really have to play, like, if you're on the fence on this game, you really have to look at the WNBA in the history of how these games are played back to back, where if you'll see one team like really put the other team down the first game, and then the second game, it'll be the total opposite. As a handicapper, it's frustrating as hell because you can just throw it out the window. You know, you really have to just see how that first game plays out, and then you can pretty much write your own ticket on the second game. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be that way, but you know, with my experience, I would say the Liberty are the play here. So I'm on the Liberty. T-Mac, you're passing, huh? Okay, I feel you on that. What's up, Joe Hill? So anyway, let's if anybody else has any questions or comments about this game, feel free to throw them in. We've got time. We've only got one more game, and I'm pretty much done talking about this game. I just have a problem backing the Lynx, and that's just because of, you know, they gutted their whole team the second week of the season, the end of the first week of the season, and it just blew my mind. Now, I expect them to come together and play well. I mean, at least for Sylvia Fowles' sake. I mean, I would hate to see her go out the way this team's playing now. But you know, Nafisa Collier just had her baby last week, and I think she'll be back sooner rather than later. I would say by All-Star break. And you know, this season's a little bit shorter than last season because we don't have the Olympics, so we'll be done in September instead of October. Actually, probably late August. But let's move on to the next game. We've got the Storm and the Dream, and that game's at 10 o'clock game, 10 o'clock Eastern. And right now the Dream are catching 6 points against the Storm. Actually, 7.5 points against the Storm. And I said 6 because I got it at 6 last night. So my apologies. And the total on this is 152.5. This game's got me really don't know where to go with it. The line jumped up to 8.5. Went from 6.5 to 8.5. Now it's back down to 7.5. It's at 7 at some books. And I've been wanting to back the Storm. I backed them on Sunday, and that bit me in the ass. And I actually took them again at six last night. So I want the Storm. I mean, my other WNBA cappers, they're liking the Dream today, and I can see where they're coming from on it. I really can, but this line just screams Storm to me. I am going to take the Dream in the first half, though. I like the Dream first half, and I believe that's at 3.5. Just let me take a look and just double check that before I put my foot in my mouth. I'm sorry, it's at 1.5. But Caesars has it at plus 190. So I'm taking that. I'm taking the money line on it. Give me the Dream money line first half, and give me the Storm full game minus 7.5. Let's see what we got going on here. Bruce Hayward, what's happening, brother? Dream played good against the Storm, but I wanted to pull the trigger on the Storm after losing 2 home games, but I'm staying off. I can't fault you for staying off, to be honest with you. I actually was thinking about that myself, staying off, but I have to give the Storm one more shot at this. And they don't have the depth. Their team, they don't have the bench that they've had in the past, and I think that's hurting the Storm. But at the same time, the Dream, I don't know. They're a team that just got me a little baffled right now. I was really high on them at the beginning of the year, and their second half, they're not finishing. I think the Dream they're in the right spot. They're in the right headspace with the defense. Their defense is just ridiculous, and that's a big change from last year. Last year they were second in the league in defense, and this year they're number one. They've got a defensive rating of 89.5. They're number 1 in the league, and the Seattle Storm are number 4 in the league with 96.6. So, I kind of my numbers had 149 at this game for a total, and I like the under, but it's just a little too close to call, just because of the fact that not so much this year, but last year when I would make a number for the game, I was within 5 points, like almost, I'd say 90% of the time. But even if it was last year, if I was hitting them like that last year, I still couldn't endorse this total at 152. You're talking 3-point difference between my handicap and what the books are showing us. And the game opened up at 151, so there's money coming in on the over. And I can't I just can't see the over, to be honest with you. I mean, it could very well hit for real, but I think this is an under game. But I'm not putting my money on it. So just want to be clear about that. And as far as the side goes, I'm taking the Dream money line first half, and I'm taking the Storm plus 7.5. Now I'm thinking about this game, and the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking, you know what? I could be totally off on this. The Storm could win the first half, and the Dream could cover the full game. And that's been one of my problems this year, is that I'll take the first half, and the team won't cover, or they won't win the first half, and then they'll end up covering the full game. Case in point, I'm trying to think of the game that there's been 2 or 3 so far this year. I can't think of them offhand, but that's the way I'm looking at it. I would not talk anybody off of taking the 7.5 with the Dream, because if the Storm weren't the Storm, I would be on the Dream right now too. But I've got to go with the Storm on this, just because of the experience factor. But their depth has really got me. It's really got me twisted on the Storm. They don't have the depth that the Dream have. But this line is screaming to me that the Storm cover this spread. So that's why I'm on the Storm full game, and I'm on the Dream first half, just because they're the Dream, and I think I think highly of the Dream, and they're a good first half team. They may not, against the better teams in the league, they kind of fall off in the second half, and I'm sure that'll be corrected. Back in I think 2015 was the last time that a team has. Let me give me a second. I got to think if I have this stat right. The oh man, it's a stat, a defensive stat where a team is holding opponents under. I can't think of it. I'll have it up for the next Dream game. But anyway, the last time this defensive stat was in play was 2015 with the Liberty, and the coach for the Dream actually was the Liberty's guard. So, that gives you a little something to think about right there. She's a very defensive coach, and I expect a defensive game here. So, but like I said, my number is 149. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go over. I wouldn't be surprised if it stays under by 10 points. So, let's take a look at the chat here, see what we got going on. T-Mac, the only thing that worries you with the Dream is turnovers. I can see where you're coming from with that. And let me take a look at more. G. Martinez, did they even play this year, Bruce? Oh, Bruce Hayward. All right. Stewart's the best player on the floor tonight, so I can see them winning, but I'm staying off just because Dream seemed to own this Storm team the last few games. No, they haven't played this year, just to let you know, G. Martinez. And, as far as Stewart goes, I agree with you on that, but I think by the end of the season, we may be singing a different tune because there may be another player on the floor tonight that might be the best player in Ryan Howard. That girl is just amazing. That's just amazing. She's amazing, and that's another reason why I'm on the under. And I think it's because I think the Storm are going to try and slow her down. If you can slow Ryan Howard down, I don't see the game going over. Especially with the way the Dream played defense. In fact, you know what? I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking, let me take a look at the first half total in this game, because that's where I would go with this. Because if it goes over, it's going to be in the second half, I think, in my opinion. So the first half total is 75.5 right now, and I would lean the under on that. In fact, I think I may play that. I may put a half unit on that. And like I said, like I usually do, I will tweet my plays out, when I get them in, and so everybody can see where I stand. I also tweet out my show plays. So right now for the show today, I have the Liberty, and I'll go with the 2.5 here. I got it a pick, but I'm still on them at the -2.5, and I'm on nothing in the first half. I lean the under in this game, just because of the fact that I think you're going to get some better production out of Hanshu and hopefully Stephanie Dolson today in the center here, in the middle here. And that's if you watch that game on Sunday, you see that Ariel Powers, she put up 27 points, and that was that was just ridiculous, And I can see her putting up big points again today, but I don't. I would have to say that I'm sorry. I would have to say that Sandy Bordello tries to hold her down. Tries to. She's going to put a game plan together to stop her from getting that many points. And Sylvia Fowles is just going to get hers no matter what. There's really nothing anybody can do about that. And the best part, the funny thing about that game was Hanshu was learning. You can see her learning from Sylvia Fowles during that game. So I expect a whole different. I expect a good matchup underneath. Sylvia Fowles at 18 points. I wouldn't be surprised she doesn't get 18 points tonight. And Kayla McBride, it's another one that's a scorer, aka Kayla McBuckets. So I can't go any further than what I said. I'm not going to talk myself off it. I like the Liberty first game -2.5, and I'm leaning on the under. I think 159 is too high. I know that it's creeped up, but I've said it plenty of times before, and 9 times out of 10, I'm right with this. When I'm on the other side and that line's going up, it does not scare me. I'll put more on the under. I feel more confident on it. And this is one of those games like uh, I'm against the line movement, so that's where I stand as far as that goes. And on the second game, so first game just the Liberty or just the Liberty full game -2.5. Um, Leaning that under, and I think I may get there with the under 159. And in the second game, we have the Storm and the Dream. I'm on the Dream first half money line +190. Now, guys, don't go crazy with this, because something in my head is just telling me, if the Storm, something in my head is just telling me that I may be on the wrong side here, and that the Storm might play the first half, like play really well first half, and the Dream come back and cover it. But I got to go. I have to trust my handicap, and I'm going to bet it. I'm going to bet it for a unit. I'm taking the first half Dream money line, and I'm taking the Storm. Well, I already took the Storm, but I took it at 6. 7.5. I know it's only a point and a half difference, but I don't know if I'd take it again at 7.5. I have to be fully honest with you guys. So that's where I stand as far as that goes. Gilda, what are you saying here? Throw your money down the toilet and bet for a Dream. Are you telling me that if I bet the Dream that I'm throwing my money down the toilet? Are you telling me to? I don't understand where you're going with that. So anyway, if you have fast fingers and can get another comment in here before I close this down, I'd really be interested in seeing what you have to say there. Lighting up and taking in the info. All right, IUD, AUD, AUD, AOD, AUD. Give me a minute here while I try and figure that one out. But I see you in the chat all the time, bro, and I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone that's in here, and I appreciate all your comments. I love the comments, and I love to hear what you guys are thinking. I was kind of hoping that our guy Daryl was in here today, so I can give him props on his Minnesota play, or not Minnesota, his whoever played the Storm on Sunday. What was it, the Sun? No, that was Friday night. Yeah, whoever played the Sun or the Storm on Sunday. I can't remember now. Jeez, I'm a mess. Yeah, it was the Sun. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got here. Gilda, they both suck. I agree there. No need to put your money on two atrocious teams. I agree with that too. But I'm going with where I see some value, and I see some value with the Liberty. Just me personally, I got it at a pick. So, but I still like the 2.5. I think they win it. I think they win it, but cover the spread and everything. Reverse line movement. Storm are favored by 7 points now. So what are you saying? I didn't look at the numbers on this Bruce. So I don't know about the reverse line movement. I don't know how many bets are in on the Dream and where we're going with that. But as far as reverse line movement goes, are you telling me that the Storm are having more money on them since the line dropped? But then again, that line opened up at 6.5 or 6. Sorry, 6. So, reverse line movement, I don't know, unless you're on the Storm. I mean, the Dream. Sorry. Unless, you're saying that the Dream are taking more tickets. Yes, G. Martinez, thank you. Yes, they had the Wings Friday. Ace is the best team in WNBA, hands down on both sides. I agree with you there, but after the Sun just rolled through this road trip the way they did, I was kind of counting them out. The Sun just looked ridiculous. I mean, they've been playing a hellacious schedule, and they're going to come back. They're coming back. They came back to Connecticut, and then they're going to start up tomorrow after having yesterday and today off. But you really can't count yesterday as a day off because they probably didn't get in until the wee hours of the morning Monday morning. So you got to count that as a travel day, and they're back at it at having a game every other day. So I'll be curious to see where that line comes out tomorrow, and we'll talk about that game tomorrow, the Sun. And Joe Blow rolling with Anesco over 14. You know what? What I'd be interested in to hear what book you have that are giving those player props. I've been looking for them. FanDuel doesn't have them. Caesars doesn't have it, and at least FanDuel in my market because a guy that I'm in the chat with, Dream. I'm in the chat with. He got a player prop on the Aces Sun game last week, and I've been looking for player props. If I could get player props in the WNBA, that's probably all you would hear out of me is player props. No bullshit. Just because of the fact that I'll go where the money's at, and I want everybody else to go where the money's at. So that's probably where I would be if I had access to player props. But I am curious to know where you're getting the player prop from, Joe. I mean, you're in California, so obviously you're using an offshore, but I want to know what offshore is giving the player props because that'd be on Prize Picks. Okay, I'm not familiar with that, but I will definitely look into that when the show ends here. All right, it's what's going on, everyone? New Day spots felt right on Sunday night, but the chips didn't fall our way. That's the truth. That's the truth, Gabriel. And that happens sometimes. That's one thing you can't forget that no matter what the sport is, these are humans playing the game. People like you and I, we can't. Every day isn't a great day, and every day we're not at 100. Every day we do not make mistakes. So. That you're going to get that. You're going to get that. I call them intangibles. They're the intangibles that you can't predict in a game. So, that's absolutely 1,000% correct. And I try and stress that everybody know that these girls are human that are playing these games. So, all right. Plum and Jackie Young are disgusting best duo right now, in my opinion. You're absolutely right. And I wish I had listened to Ski the other day when he was talking about. I was on the Aces first quarter and first half. I pushed the Aces first quarter and lost the first half by like a half point because I had 2.5, I think, and I think it ended at 4.5 or 3.5. But that ended up losing, and without Jackie Young's production, you could see the Aces were not putting up the points that they are used to putting up. And let me see what else we got here for the chat before I wrap it up. You know what? That happens to me sometimes, Gabriel. Like just getting the notification all late and wrong. That happens with me. I set my reminders for shows I want to watch just to let you know, like on my phone, rather than rely on YouTube to remind me, because YouTube reminds me. And next thing I know, I missed half the show I wanted to watch. Really? Did they just fire Derek Fisher? Oh my gosh! You know who's going to be happy to hear that? Mikey, my guy Mikey Hova, who will be with us tomorrow. Mikey Hova will be with us tomorrow. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mikey. He did the two live shows with Who Banging Sports that that I did before this show started. And Mikey's a really good capper. And wow, you know what? I am so happy to hear that they fired Derek Fisher. I really am, because I was like in love with the Sparks before this season. And, I figured it would take them like a couple games to get their chemistry together. But once they did, they were going to be a bet on team. Well, that just hasn't happened. So hopefully now I'm curious to see who they bring in. Wow, I appreciate that, guys. Let me see that. I didn't see that. I don't know if it just happened before, or if it happened before the show, but I did not see it. I had my head in the books on these two games. So right on, Gabriel. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. and I appreciate everyone that threw that out and let me know that. And Mikey will be on tomorrow, Gabriel. Don't worry, Mikey will be here. Dutch was laughing about the fish being coached too. Yeah, we're gonna. You know what? I gotta get Dutch in this chat. You know, he said he was going to be in here on Sunday, but I didn't see him. So I'm gonna holler at him today and see what's up. You know, I would bring him on the show, but just on a comical level because he'd be trashing the shit out of W. But I think he's coming around. I think Dutch is coming around. I think I've got him. Think Ski and I have got him. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe after the WNBA season ends or the NBA season ends, we'll get Dutch on board. But Spark's been shit anyway, so I agree with the move absolutely. And it's Derek Fisher. It is Derek Fisher because if you can't get the talent of uh, Liz Cambage and Kennedy Jordan and Neko Aguamike. I will get all these names down by the end of the season. At the end of the season, watch. So anyway, yeah, if you can't get these girls playing together, and there's definitely coaching problems. So I agree with that. Hopefully they bring a good coach in. You know what? I would love to see Dawn Staley come to the WNBA, but I don't think it would ever happen unless Philly gets a WNBA team. If Philly gets a WNBA team, you know, I think Dawn Staley, that might bring Dawn Staley to the WNBA. And yes, G Martinez, I know I'm not even close on that, but I'm going to say it right now. Neka Aguamike. Neka Aguamike. I'll get there. All right, let's see what else we got here. Fouls, McBride, or Powers? Joe Blow here. Do you think anyone will score? I absolutely do. And I would say McBride's going to score over 15 and a half points. And I think Ariel Power scores over 15 and a half points today. I don't think Sylvia Fowles is going to score over 15 and a half points today because I really think that Sandy Bordeaux is really going to have a game plan to stop the inside present. Well, stop the inside offense anyway of Sylvia Powell's and Ariel McBride on the interior there. So you know, if Ariel Powers she's going to get her points just because she's going to post up and you know, hit the mid range and drive inside. That's hard. That's very hard to defend. You know, for a center to defend something like that, especially when they're concentrating on Sylvia Fowles and you have Ariel Powers driving the lane. You know, that's tough. All right, Real Dope Prime, what's good, man? A forever. Thanks, Martinez. Yeah, I think McBride has a better matchup too. Okay, all right, guys. Well, look, I appreciate you all coming out. You know, I wasted enough of your time here at 34 minutes, so let me wrap this up and we'll get going and ready to cash some tickets tonight. So again, first game, I am on the Liberty at a pick. I do endorse the -2.5. Second game, I have the Dream first half money line +190 and the Seattle Storm -6. I got that last night. Now it's at 7.5. And if you can get the 7, I would take that, you know, obviously. But you know, the more I think about this game, the more I'm hoping that my head is wrong, because in my head I'm thinking that that this game could be ass backwards from what I bet it. But my capping says differently, and I just gotta hope that Seattle. It's definitely a Seattle Storm spot. Let's put it that way. And if they can't win this and they can't cover this spread, I really have to think twice about betting them going forward until something changes. So that's where we're at. Look, everyone, do me a favor, please. You know, don't overextend yourself. Bet responsibly. You know, the last thing I want is to give out plays and, you know, somebody to lose and not be able to pay their bills or anything like that. You know, I've been in that position years and years ago. It took me a long time to have the discipline to gamble the way I gamble now and be able to sustain a lifestyle that I sustain and be able to take care of my bills. So, just do yourselves a favor. And even if it's $10 a game, $10 a game adds up. You get rolling, and that'll add up, and you can bump it up as it goes. So, everyone just bet within their means. And tomorrow we will have Mikey Hova back at Mikey Hova Parlay on Twitter at Mikey_Hova. That's my guy, and he will be here tomorrow. And for those of you that don't know, Mikey's an excellent WNBA capper, as you'll see. And I really look forward to having him on. I've been waiting, trying to get him screen tested so he can pass the pub sports screen test and be able to come on live shows. And that happened today. So, yay. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Have a good day. Salute to the chat. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And thank you for coming out. And we will see you tomorrow after Pub Hub, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Or there, maybe a few minutes after. It all depends on how long Ian talks. That's my guy, Ian. But, we know he can talk a little bit. So, we're looking around the 4:30 mark. So, I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks again for coming out. Big show. Give him the outro.